Okay, hello everyone. Hello. Yes, now I am live. I am live today with a very exciting topic, activating your love codes. So let's wait for some people to gather, and please let me know where you're coming from. Please let me know. Yeah, hi Grace. It's very good to see everyone. Today I have a presentation for you, and we are going to do some work. And thank you so much for answering the poll. Now I know for sure that this is a group of women with very big hearts. And so the biggest challenge right now is not to be attracted to the narcissist anymore, and instead to attract giving, wonderful men with a good heart, men who will listen to you, men who are ready to transform if necessary, men who are going to support your vision in life, and men who are going to be your rocks, a man who is your rock. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now. Please let me know. Yeah, Vivian, it's good to see you. Natalie. Natalie is really very active right now. Natalie is about to get her free session with me. So if you want to compete with Natalie, you are welcome to. You are very welcome to become active and to make comments. So let's go. Yeah, ready? So this is going to be very exciting. I hope you can see me. This is going to be very beautiful. Soulmate love training. How to go from lonely, hopeless, and frustrated to having it all. Magnetic chemistry, emotional intimacy, and unconditional love. So if you want to get that, please put yes into the comments. Today, we're going to go over not only the steps to get there within the 6 months, but I will also share with you soulmate codes, and we're actually going to do some work. So transformation is going to be happening today. So as always, I want to invite you to set a 15-minute session with us so that we could dive a little bit deeper into your personal situation. And meanwhile, let's get started. So does it sound like you? Are you a smart, successful woman who is still struggling to find a life partner? Put yes into the comments. Do you find most men unattractive, like I do, for example, and not desirable? Put yes into the comments. And do you freeze when you actually meet somebody that you like? Also pretty normal situation. Do you keep attracting guys who are emotionally unavailable or guys who are afraid of commitment? And is it possible that your power and independence is scaring some guys off? And when you like a guy, do you open too fast, initiate contact, or give too much? And do you feel like often a guy starts out hot and then he pulls away? So if any of this is happening to you, this class is going to be the most important, because it is for women like you, smart, successful women who feel that they're good at everything except relationships, and who are ready for soulmate love. So as I said, if you said yes to any of this, I have some good news for you. This is going to be the most important 40 minutes of your life right here, right now. This is your unique opportunity to find out exactly why things are not working yet for you. So I'm sure that you have tried everything under the sun to find that man, to find that soulmate. Maybe you hunted for answers on the internet, looking for the secret sauce to attract your man. Maybe you read books on how to get a great husband. You've probably been to bars. You tried online dating. So put yes if you did. You did personal development. Maybe you even used the law of attraction. You prayed, you went to the gym, and maybe you even hired a therapist or a matchmaker. And none of it worked. First of all, I want to say, it is not your fault. Okay, my love, it is really not your fault. The real problem is that you didn't know what are those steps to get you to manifest that great epic love. So it's not that there are no good men left. There are good men left, and there are going to be even more next year. It's not that you are not attractive enough. And it is not that you are not young enough. My clients get fantastic partners after the age of 50, 60, and even 70. And it's not that you have bad luck in love, okay? But it is just that you did not follow the specific 4 steps that I'm going to teach you right now. So, my promise to you today is to uncover those steps and start working on yourself so that you could start attracting the right kind of people. So my request from you is to give me your absolutely full attention, which means possibly turning off your messengers, whatever could be distracting you, just to really focus on this, because it's just going to be me and you and our great universe that is going to conspire for you to start making the first steps into attracting your true love that you so want and deserve. So those are the 4 steps that will take you from lonely, frustrated, and hopeless to having it all: magnetic chemistry, emotional intimacy, and unconditional love. So let me show you something. Current situation with love in the United States is not great. 60%, 60% of women in the United States are single. I'll tell you more. 95% of women report that they are unhappy in their love life. Not unlike my clients who belong to the lucky 5% who are happy in their relationships. And in fact, some of them report that this is the best relationship of their lives. So here you can see my client, Laura, a very beautiful woman from Los Angeles, who was very, very picky, very selective, and she could not find a partner till the age of 40. And then we started working together, and we've discovered that it is because she's a very beautiful, very attractive woman, but she was really attracted to narcissists all the time. And I'll tell you later on what we've discovered, how we activated her soulmate code. And as you can see, she found this wonderful guy and recently had a child. This is my client, Fran. When I met Fran, I was very touched because she's a woman with a big heart. She still has 2 autistic children, and she's a huge activist in that realm. And I was a little bit scared how we're gonna find a partner for her with 2 autistic children. But you know, she found this incredible guy who is actually also an activist in the scene of how to fight the autism and how to support those people. This is my client Anna, who is a big comedian in New York City. We also worked through her soulmate codes, and she activated them, and she magnetized the biggest love of her life, and they're now traveling cross country. Actually, she just wrote me a message recently. This is my client Hunter, who is, and Anna and Hunter are going to be coming on soon and giving their testimonials and their experience with activation of the soulmate codes. Hunter lives in Barcelona. She scored this fantastic, very sexy architect, Spanish architect, and very, very happy with him. Julia from Boston, Ola, who we renamed, her name was Alex before, and we wanted to increase her feminine, so we renamed her Ola. She's an MIT graduate, very smart woman who was leading with her masculine. And once she started leading with her feminine, as you can see, probably the transformation, she got married to this wonderful guy. My client Svetlana from Boston, who was attracted to this polyamorous man, who right away actually told her that he is not going to be monogamous, that monogamy is a trap. And we worked on that. And I have to tell you, you can probably see her and me here on the screen on Zoom, where she's crying because she thought that she got him, but then it turned out she didn't. So with some special techniques and soulmate code activation and some special communication techniques, we turned this guy. So now this guy thinks that not only she's his soulmate, but that she's more than a soulmate. She's like his soulmate throughout lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And they're spending a very good time right now together in the pandemic. My client Uzma, who scored this interracial, interfaith marriage. She's from Pakistan. She married a counselor, a psychotherapist who is a Russian Jew, and she had this amazing child, Aronchik, who I haven't met yet, but I am really, really, really longing to meet. And her mother came to the wedding, of course, and I came to the wedding, and her mother was crying and just like really, really thanking me because she didn't think she's going to have a grandchild in this lifetime. This is Teresa, who came in really, really attracted to complete narcissists. I would purely say total assholes. And after activating her soulmate codes, she magnetized this fantastic guy who is very successful. He's a businessman, and who has completely supported her emotionally and in many other ways through the several last months. So this is my client, Christina, who is also going to be coming in with her testimonials, who actually, when we met during our first love breakthrough session, she was really crying. Her heart was broken because she took her children to Paris to see her lover, just to find out that he had another woman there. And basically, she was at the end of her rope when we started working together. And Christina activated one of the soulmate codes that we will be activating today. And she really fell in love with herself, became a magnetic woman, and she scored this very, very hot guy. He is a Cuban engineer, and they were creating salons of some Cuban music in Orange County, having a fantastic, fantastic time. He also became a great father for her teenage sons. So this is my client Gail, who was always criticized by her father, and you will see later on how that affected what was happening in her love life, and you will understand what we did. And then once things shifted inside of her, all of a sudden this wonderful man from her office really noticed her, although he knew her for many, many years, but all of a sudden she became very attractive to him. And the same thing happened to many of my other clients. So what you will learn today, let's see, 3 mistakes that powerful women make when trying to attract a quality man, how to get a sparkling ring on your finger without struggle, manipulation, or effort within 6 months using the 4 golden steps. Please put into the comments what kind of ring would you like? What is your favorite jewel? What is your favorite stone, rock? You'll learn how to stop attracting wrong men by changing your love blueprint. And you will also learn how to lead with your feminine and how to go from invisible to magnetic by activating your soulmate codes. If we have time, you will also learn how to get qualified prospects rolling in 24/7 without wasting hours on wrong men. I'm a real pro in that. And I do know some special tricks that only best matchmakers know, how to use online applications in a way that is satisfying, that is fast, and it specifically attracts the perfect man to you. Okay, my love. So let's go next. Okay, so imagine these are some of my clients that you haven't seen yet. At the end, I'm going to also, whoever makes comments here, I'm going to post links to the 13 magical text messages that turn him into a raging animal hungry for you. Those messages are very cool. You can use them with men who have been missing in action for a while. You can use them, for example, to rekindle the flame. You can use them even if a man haven't been paying attention to you, and they really work like magic. So mistake number one is that most women make is thinking that he will show up in the right time. Unless he's a pizza delivery boy, he is not going to show up at the right time. You have to take responsibility. I'm sorry for saying those words, you have to. I'm sure you've heard you have to so many times that it probably is not very, it's probably not very attractive. But let's put it this way. Look, once you take responsibility over something, it becomes less scary. It becomes manageable. So instead of saying something like, I cannot date, you can say, I'm choosing not to date. Instead of saying, I am attracting narcissistic men, try to say right now, I'm choosing to attract narcissistic men. That means taking responsibility. Instead of saying, my apartment is a mess, try saying, I'm choosing to hold my apartment as a mess. Okay. And then you will see how, with that responsibility, reality shifts. So taking responsibility over yourself is a beautiful thing. So this guy is not going to just show up, even if you use the law of attraction, even if you become that woman of that perfect vibration that attracts your perfect man. As they say in a joke, when somebody is praying to God and says, God, I've been praying to you for so long to win the lottery, and I still didn't win the lottery. And you know what God says? God says, well, you have to buy a ticket. Okay. So even when you're completely ready, even when everything is there, you still have to make some steps in order for this to manifest, especially in our world where everyone has their own car, their own TV, their own computer, their own phone, right? You have to really be motivated, and you have to be held accountable, and you have to really set your eyes on the prize and on the intention to make this happen. So right here and right now, I would like to ask you, are you ready? Because I'm not going to be joking around here. I am here to make you champions of love next year. Okay. I only want to work with women, and I only want to serve women who are truly ready and who are ready to commit to themselves. Are you ready to commit to yourself and to love? Are you ready? Are you choosing to live your life with love? That is the absolutely first step that I need you to make. Okay. Second mistake. Mistake number two that most women make trying to attract their soulmate is leading with your masculine, right? And we talked about it already before. And what does it mean, leading with your masculine? It means making things happen, forcing things to happen, being uncomfortable with silence, being uncomfortable with taking a pause, being impatient. Masculine energy is hot, it's penetrating. Feminine energy is smooth, it is flowing. Yeah. So when we lead with that masculine, men get scared. We emasculate them. We stay in the friend zone. So that is mistake number two that many independent women make. Mistake number three that most women make when they're trying to attract their soulmate is overgiving, especially when you have attracted somebody who is potentially on the narcissistic spectrum. And in fact, I want to tell you something more. Even if you have a tendency to overgive and you meet a man who could be a giver for somebody else, you will turn him into a narcissist. So in a way, you will, so to speak, open the door for him to reveal his narcissistic tendencies. Okay, my love. So we cannot change men, but we can help them reveal certain qualities, and we can inspire them. So trying to buy love, trying to be a nice girl, nice woman, overgive, overshare, this is something that decreases our value and makes men take us for granted. Okay, so that's mistake number 3. Let me know which ones you're making. But once you follow the 4 golden steps, and everything is going to change. So let's look into what's happening with you. And first of all, understand what your intentions are. Would you like to be with a successful stand-up man who makes you feel loved, respected, desirable, and excited about love? If yes, put yes into the comments. Would you like to finally find a true companion you can co-create a wonderful future with? If yes, put yes into the comments. And are you ready to meet him within 6 months? Because if you are, then we can continue, and I'll give you all the tools, and I promise to tell you exactly what to do after we are done with this masterclass. So I'm going to walk you through the golden steps, and when you follow them, you will be able to finally connect the dots between all of your achievements, your dream career, your dream lifestyle, and your dream relationship. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So who am I and why you should listen to me? I have tons and tons and tons of testimonials. All of those are different videos, composites of different testimonials from my clients. You might already know a little bit about my story. I was a very unattractive girl as I was growing up. I was attracted to narcissists myself. My first boyfriend was a narcissist. I used to call him the fascist. And the girls who were growing up this along me in my class in Russia, they all looked like this. They all looked like models. So I had to figure it out. I really made the pledge, so to speak, to understand how is it possible to bring in great love into your life, and how is it possible to bring spirit over matter. That was always very important to me. And so that's my story. And as you know, I turned into a pretty effective coach with tons of following, and sometimes I teach 400, 500 people. At the time, I spoke at Harvard Business Forum presenting my methodology. I also lead retreats with my magnetic women. So this is one of the retreats. You can see me in purple and everyone else here. So I can tell you that several women from this group, most women from this group already have fantastic guys, especially like this one in the white shirt. Her name is Helen. She also was attracted to narcissists. She had a very difficult situation with her mother, who not only did not love her, but actually experienced pleasure when she insulted her. So we needed to let go of all of that and do a very deep clearing, very deep work on the womb level with Helen in order for her to clear out her love blueprint and come into a completely different alignment and love for her own self. This is my boyfriend. His name is Greg. He is a very cool guy. He has his own business and he is also a musician. He's also younger than I am. So for all of you, just to know, I believe that love is accessible at any age. In fact, I don't even believe in age at all. My deep conviction is that a magnetic woman only gets better with age, because your entertainment value goes up, your confidence goes up, you know exactly what you want, and also you're not looking for a man's approval, and it's all very magnetic. So my boyfriend is definitely a great supporter of me, and he is always available to me emotionally and in every other way. He thinks that I am the hottest thing on the planet, and I don't blame him. Okay, so so I gave you a little peek into my life, and now I'm going to walk you through exactly how to take this 4 golden steps, and we're going to start making the necessary shifts right now. All right, so healing your love blueprint. Look at this rose. I'm very excited to share this with you. After many years of coaching and teaching, the rose came to me in a dream, and I have realized that there are 6 soulmate codes that need to be activated, 6 petals in this rose. And as you see, there are those little things on top of the rose. Those are actually the cards, the metaphorical cards that I've been developing for about 2 years already now, and they're finally ready. And we're starting a new program with them next year. And the reason why those cards work, and we're going to work with the cards today, is because they really, really go deeply into your subconscious mind. So it is very important to get the healing from every avenue. So as we heal ourselves, as we heal our love blueprint, and in a moment we will find out if your love blueprint needs to be healed. So when we heal it, we need to go very, very deeply into the subconscious mind. So subconscious mind is something that is not easily controllable. So just like it's hard for you to, let's say, decide, okay, I'm going to fall asleep right now, right? It's hard to decide that. Or it's hard to decide, okay, I'm going to have an orgasm right now. Or it's hard to decide, okay, I'm going to be turned on by this person right now. So it's very hard to make those decisions, because subconscious mind is actually very wise, and it is residing on the level of the instinct, and it is connected with your sexuality. So the patterns, the previous patterns that have been until now responsible for your love choices reside on the level of subconscious mind. Very few people know how to work directly with subconscious mind in a very efficient way. So we do it through visuals, through the cards, and through meditations. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. And some of you maybe already used some of my meditations. And those meditations are really exceptional. I usually take a very long time, maybe 10 days in silence and fasting when I record the meditation. And so the meditations are really, really deep, and they go into every nook and cranny of your consciousness, looking for things, looking for areas where you still don't love yourself yet. So this is the rose. We'll talk about it a little bit later. So your love blueprint determines mutual attraction. Okay. So my client Caroline, I want to talk about her love blueprint. So she was criticized by her father. What happened? She felt ugly. She felt undeserving. She felt like she's not good enough. She felt that men are people who need to be pleased. And she learned from early on that her father, who is unstable, who is kind of irrational and very critical, needs to be appeased, that she needs to be this nice girl, and she needs to earn his love, which actually kind of never happened with the father. And so as she was going through life, she continued the same strategy. So anytime she would see a guy who reminded her of her father, what happened? Her huntress instinct would be turned on, and she would be like, yeah, I want to change that guy. Why is it? Because she wants to change that situation. She wants to be loved by this kind of energy. She wants to be loved by that man. So put into the comments if this reminds you of anything. Okay, so once she healed her love blueprint, she became really magnetic and attracted a wonderful giving man. So deserving mind, what does it mean? Once your love blueprint is healed, you can establish a deserving mind, and then you will attract, and you will be attracted to secure, loving, emotionally available men. Why is that? What is deserving mind? You might say 100 times, I deserve to be loved, right? I deserve happiness. I deserve the best that the world has to offer. And yet, possibly every day you're settling for something less. And why is that? As Marianne Williamson, who I really love, said, we are not afraid of being small. We are afraid of our own greatness. Okay. So what would happen if you decided that from this moment on, and by the way, in any moment you can make a decision, that you are demanding the universe, you're demanding the universe to bring you everything that is absolutely the best. What would happen? What happens when you in your body when you say that? I will tell you exactly what happens. Well, I don't know exactly what's happening in your particular body, but what usually happens is there is this inner critic, this little doubt, which is asking, are you sure you deserve it? So if it's happening to you, please put, yes, it's happening to me into the comments. Are you sure you deserve it? And then that inner critic is going to ask you something like, well, you know what? You're not exercising enough. Or it's going to tell you something like, you're lazy. Or it's going to tell you, you are not beautiful enough, or you're stupid. There's something wrong with you. You don't really deserve it. You're too old. So that inner critic that is limiting you, what is it trying to do? In essence, it is trying to protect you. It is trying to protect you from rejection. It's trying to protect you from disappointment. So thank you, inner critic. Here's what we do. Once you hear this negative talk, this negative self-talk inside of yourself, we are going to be very kind to this inner critic. We're not going to resist it, because what you resist persists. So instead, we're going to say, listen, thank you so much for pointing this out to me. And I already made a decision about this part of me that is maybe not perfect. And here's the decision, my love. In our program, we have a slogan, love it or fix it. So if there is something inside of you that you experience shame about, there are only two things that you can do. If you can fix it, make a commitment and fix it. And once you fix it, once you start exercising, once you start giving yourself self-care, once you start going out online, once you start opening possibilities to connect, that shame is going to go away. You're going to feel like a different person. If there is something inside of you that you don't love and it's not possible to fix it, which sometimes happens, then get to love it. See how it is the biggest teacher that you ever had on your own quest to self-love. My nose has always been a part of my body that I really hated. When I was a little girl, everyone was laughing at me because of my nose. They would draw my nose on a big blackboard when I was walking, when I would come to class and I would see this big nose on the blackboard, and I would cry and cry and cry. I slept on my nose to make it turn upwards for many years in my childhood, and I was dreaming of a plastic surgery. And here's what happened. When I came to America, nobody cared about my nose. That was easier, of course. But I also learned that my nose allows me to breathe in a lot of air, a lot of prana. It gives me a lot of energy. My nose is a nose of an eagle. Yeah. And then I had the possibility to do a plastic surgery, but I didn't want to. I've realized that it is my nose that became my biggest teacher. Christina, that you saw in one of the pictures before, hated her butt. She hated it so much. She felt really self-conscious. She felt undeserving. She thought, oh my God, if somebody sees my butt, and think about yourself, maybe it's your belly, maybe it's your breast, maybe there's some other part of the body that you've been hiding for a really long time, kind of hating it or feeling ashamed of it. That is the teacher. That part of the body, just like pandemic, it is the teacher. Darkness can also be the teacher. So when we turn it into our asset, into our teacher, Christina, for example, we had a task during the coaching that she had to write a poem about her butt. And she understood that her butt symbolizes her deep connection with earth, her strength, her femininity. She changed her stereotype. Okay. And when we work with the love blueprint, we look very deeply into the underlying disempowering beliefs that you created about yourself as a child when you weren't getting the love that you deserved. And we look into those beliefs and we question them and we say, is that really so? Are men really all evil? Are all women really like feminine, weak, or irrational? Um, is something really wrong with me? And am I really unlovable? We really go into that and we look at the positive intention of that belief, which is always to protect you. But then we also look into, what is it costing me to continue believing that I am unlovable? And I can tell you that what it is costing you is love. Not to mention that when you feel unlovable, you also become invisible. And in order for you to ignite hearts and to be a great flirt, you need to think and to feel that the whole universe adores you, that you are adorable, that everyone in the universe is looking at you with love. That is a much better belief to have. And that is the belief that will heal you and bring you a great partner. Because how would a partner love your different parts and you if you don't love those parts, right? So you should be the first one to initiate this romance. So does it happen to you that when you look into the mirror and then you're looking at your imperfections? Okay, so perfectionism is a trap. Perfectionism, of course, has a good intention, like most behaviors. It has a good intention, but at the end of the day, it paralyzes us. So just think about this. If you were not afraid to be rejected, how would your life be different, right? You would go out there like my mom does. You would go out there to the street and you would talk to so many people and you would say hello and you would introduce yourself and you would not care, and you would definitely meet tons and tons and tons of wonderful new friends and men and admirers, right? It's that fire inside of you that makes it so magnetic. Okay, so instead of looking in the mirror and looking at your imperfections, like I have a pimple here right now, you can see it. Yeah. You can look deeply into your eyes and wink at yourself and just say, hey, sister, I've got you. Yeah, we're going to rock it today. Today, we're going to, like, the world is going to tremble. Like, let's go surprise my own soul and everyone else. So this is deserving mind. So what else is amazing about deserving mind? When you have a deserving mind and you meet somebody like a narcissist, but you already love yourself, you already feel so good about yourself, you feel good about your body, you feel good about your teachers, you feel good about all of your features, you've been giving love to yourself in every way, falling asleep, putting your hands on your heart with love, like you've created that beautiful oxytocin around your body, you made it healthy, you are loving yourself to the extent that whatever you're putting in is healing medicinal food, including informational food, that you're feeding yourself only with beautiful things, you're listening to beautiful music. Think about it this way: you are giving yourself the best self-care, you are making sure that at work you're being paid well, and if you're not, you're looking for other opportunities, you're setting boundaries. And then you meet this guy, this narcissist, this full of himself asshole who seems confident and he seems like he's got something maybe you don't. Okay, and so here's what happened once with me. I met this narcissist after I already did work on myself, and we were supposed to be co-teaching a class, and it was in Spain. We were supposed to be co-teaching this tantric retreat, and he's sick, he has like a flu, and he starts showing me the pictures of his ex-girlfriend, which is this like very young Asian tango dancer. And he's like, look at her, how beautiful she is, and this and that. And he's coughing and sneezing, and I'm sitting next to him feeling invisible, feeling like he never gave me a compliment, feeling like he is not even paying attention to me. In fact, I'm sitting here with this narcissist listening to how much he loved his girlfriend and risking to get sick. So I looked at him and I said, and by the way, I was attracted to that guy years ago. And so I looked at him and I said, listen, with all due respect, what's happening right now is not feeding me at all. And also, I don't want to get sick. So make sure tomorrow when you come to share the microphone with me, please bring a sock and use it. And that was great. That was such a victory. This is when I realized that's it. I'm good. I'm healed. I'm really not interested in getting your disease. I'm really not interested in participating in this whole dynamics interaction. So what about your love blueprint? So in your history as you were growing up, did it happen that you felt not heard or forced to shut down your real feelings, like your feelings are not important? So this happens very often when a girl with a big heart is growing up and she gets this message, my feelings are not important. So if you got that message and you meet this narcissist or you meet this emotionally unavailable person, and you're feeling sad, you're feeling unseen, you're feeling unloved, and you keep feeling that. Yeah. So what happens when you have a deserving mind? Let me walk you through it. Let's say you go on a date with him, and in my coaching we have this method which is called the mirror test. And the mirror test goes like this: you spoke to this person for, let's say, 5 minutes at the table, and then you go to the bathroom and you look at yourself in the mirror. And if you look more beautiful than you looked when you just came, that means he gave you energy. If you look less beautiful, you kind of like you shrinked. Maybe your skin is not glowing anymore. Maybe your whole face is like deconstructed because he looked at you in a not loving way, without true love. That means he took energy from you. So when you know that in the moment you are in touch with yourself, you love yourself really so much, not egoistically, but you just love yourself as a part of the world, because loving the world includes loving yourself. And then all of a sudden you feel like, oh, in this situation I'm losing energy, my feminine is depleted, I am not getting anything, this is a situation that doesn't make me feel good. With deserving mind, you're just going to gracefully disconnect from that situation. Okay, so that's why it's so important. If you've ever been betrayed or abandoned by your ex-partners who actually reinforced the original belief that something is wrong with you, yeah, and we see this vicious cycle all the time when a girl is growing up and she feels like something is wrong with me, and she chooses those partners who come and they really prove it to her. Yes, something is wrong with you. That is not true. It is just that you were choosing those people because of that unresolved situation from your childhood. So, and maybe if you're just not feeling good enough and you feel like maybe if they knew who you really truly are deeply, they would not love you. And to that, I want to say that every human being has a full range, and we're all miracles and we all have our flaws. So recognizing that and getting out again of that perfectionist trap is wise, and it is loving, and it is merciful. So if you've been criticized or judged by your parents, as we already discussed, or if you were exposed to unstable, emotionally unavailable, stressed or neurotic mother or father, or sometimes with a borderline personality, drug or alcohol abuse, or just workaholism, that means that you became that caretaker early on, that you learned to repress your feelings, and that you learned to be patient, which also gave you this great gift that you can rescue people. Now let's talk about rescuing people. Who's been rescuing people here? Please put yes into the comments. Have you ever been attracted to a guy who is a project? Okay, so you know about projects, right? So you see this guy, maybe he's miserable, maybe he needs maybe he's depressed, and here you come and you can apply all of those skills, you can apply your genius, your talent to this project, and this is so satisfying. So you are used to giving. Giving is easy. Why? Because you feel good, you feel like, yeah, I'm powerful, I'm a giver. You feel that you're in control when you're giving. When you're giving, there is also usually this little expectation. Well, if I give to them, they will give to me later on, right? It's very rare when we're really just giving without any expectations until we're healed. So you're not open to receiving. Why is that? Because receiving is scary. And what's scary about receiving? Well, what if I like it so much and they're not going to give it again? What if I receive and then I have to pay back in a way that I don't want, right? What are the other scary things about receiving? What if I'm receiving incorrectly? Yeah, so there are all those things about receiving that really force you to be in the state of surrender and openness and trust. Receiving requires so much more trust. And it's very important for you to come into this receiving space. And that is one of the biggest reasons, actually, also why you're attracted to the narcissists or emotionally unavailable men, because they know how to receive. When you see a man like that, you know, they love themselves. And when you see a man like that, you think, oh my God, I can learn a lot from this person. I can learn a lot from him. Let me see how he is doing that. So there is a part of that going as well. Okay. So and another part is this playing this rescuer, victim, perpetrator triangle, which is a big thing that we learn in the coaching. And I can tell you right now that most of the times when we come in as a rescuer, then we say, oh, actually I'm the victim, although you came in with that giving yourself, and then you turn into a victim, while in reality, you're also the perpetrator taking responsibility. You're also the perpetrator of that situation. So until you get out of the whole victim triangle, you're not going to be able to be in balance of giving and receiving, and you're not going to be able to completely heal your love blueprint. Another point that can contribute to a damaged love blueprint is never seeing happy relationship dynamics between a mother and a father, two parents, that maybe you just don't have that template. Maybe it's very hard to even imagine what it looks like, what it could be like. Yeah, to be in equal terms in giving and receiving, to be considerate of each other, to understand that both people are in their own realities, but also that there is a common reality that we share. That's a great skill, great communication skill. Maybe you've never seen it in action. So if you feel more comfortable giving than receiving, and deep inside you feel unworthy to be loved, and that also results in the anxious attachment style. So for example, when a guy is missing in action, you're drawing horror stories in your mind. And so you start grasping. You start grasping and you start going after him, which is a great mistake, because in that situation, again, in my coaching, there is this principle that we are rewarding a man for his good behavior. We're rewarding him when he is giving, and we're withdrawing when he is not giving. So instead, the natural reaction of somebody with anxious attachment style and damaged love blueprint is to start going after, you know, and think about, like, if a dog is running away from you, how do you get the dog to run after you? You start running away, right, instead of running after it. So the same thing with any person. When any person feels that somebody wants something from them, they naturally run away. So when your love blueprint is healed, you come into a more secure attachment style. You become more patient, you have better time with yourself, your life is full, and men feel it. They know that you are not that woman who has this gigantic hole inside of herself where they can get in, flatter her, and then use her. Okay, so when you're already great, when you're already feeling great, it's not so simple to get to. It's not so simple to play a number on you. So another one is when you get attached too fast. So if this is something that happened to you, also please put yes into the comments. You get attached too fast. Why? Well, it's because, again, you did not have very strong boundaries and understanding of your own self, who you are, what you're serving, the big purpose of your life. Yeah. And you have a hard time saying no, which is, again, oh, If I say no, that means I am rejecting someone. I'm empathic. I'm feeling their pain. While in reality, my love, when we say no, we are actually giving a great service to another person, because we're not giving them a fake reality. So very often when we're appeasing someone, we are enabling their behavior. Okay, so think about that, please. So if you think that you've enabled someone's behavior by being too accommodating, please put yes, I did into the comments. Step 2, high value woman. Projecting yourself as a high value woman. Here you see a woman who is leading with her masculine, and here you see a woman who's leading with her feminine. Okay, so what is the difference? I want to hear from you. What is the difference between the woman on the left and the woman on the right? So the woman on the left is looking at you with this analytical eyes. She's penetrating. She is leading with her brain. She is analyzing. Okay. And you can see that the woman on the right is also very powerful, but there is something in her eyes which is receiving, which has this opening. So leading with a high feminine value is not about penetrating and analyzing and being a smart ass. Okay. Leading with a high feminine value means leaning back, being in your pleasure with strong boundaries. And I'll show you a little bit more on that. I want to show you, what happens that you're projecting masculine energy, taking charge and leading. When you're leading with your masculine, you feel awkward when you're talking to a guy you have a desire for, or when you receive compliments, and maybe you feel a little disappointed in men. And so it is very natural for you to jump in, take charge, and solve their problems. Okay. When you lead with your masculine, you are uncomfortable with silence or taking a pause. You are uncomfortable with space. You feel like you constantly need to fill that space with yourself. There are some women who come to me who are absolutely stunning, intelligent, successful, worldly, everything. They've got everything. And they come and they say, Luba, what is happening? What is wrong? I went to every coach. Nobody could help me. I don't understand why I even can't get a second date. And I have a special term for this kind of women. And that term is, simply everything. Simply, this woman is simply everything. Don't be simply everything. Don't fill space with yourself so much. It's the emptiness, it's the opening, it's the cradle, the womb, the space that sucks that masculine in. When we're simply everything, there is absolutely no room for that man to apply himself. He sits and he looks at you and he thinks like, she's got it all. I don't even know what to do with her. Okay. So if this is something that's happening with you, that means you are leading with your masculine. Okay. Now, I want to show you, look at this high value woman, very beautiful, very feminine. Okay, so here is a picture of Sophie Loren. And if you don't know, she is a very famous movie actress. She lives with her feminine. She is in her 80s right now. Look at her. Look at this high value woman. So as a high value woman, you'd be setting boundaries with love and also with magnetic strictness. Why? Because you are more loyal to your values than to him. That's it. That's simple. You're more loyal to yourself, into your own alignment with your own soul, than to anything else. And that is what makes you very high value. Okay, that's what makes you that jewel, that rock. High value woman loves pleasure. She loves to experience all the gifts from the universe. She loves her body. She is not ashamed of her sexual desires as well. In fact, she knows that her sexuality is a great gift. And it is a great gift. The arousal is a great gift. The ability to be tender, the ability to be multi-orgasmic, the ability to feel another person through your body, great gift. A wild woman is, the high value woman is connected to her wild and wise intuition. And that way she's connected to the mystery of creation, which is also very, very feminine. And she's a self-sufficient and sovereign queen, sovereign, meaning that she already knows her value. And that is the most valuable of it all. So when you know your value, it becomes magnetic, it becomes contagious. When you know your value, nobody can take this away from you. And your value as a woman is not based on your achievements. What is it based on? Your value. Yes, it is based on your beautiful heart. It is also based on the fact that you are a divine child of creation. It's also based on the fact that you are alive. It's based on the fact, your value, that you've invested so much into yourself that you are still open to love. That is the biggest value, because the biggest superpower of a woman is to be love in this world. And as I said, high value woman, magnetic woman, only gets better with age, which is very exciting. So you see this woman here. So I wanted to mention a little bit about dating smarter, not harder. And for that particular methodology, I was invited to speak at Harvard Business School, Business Expert Forum. And this is Susan Somers, who is introducing me. And that was a very exciting day. And one of the approaches that we have in dating smarter, not harder, is creating a men funnel, so to speak. We're packaging you become the best brand. We upbrand you. You become the dream girl of yourself, of your own making, which is very exciting. Maybe you'll choose new colors. Like, for example, when I was up branding, I used to love dark red. I used to love brick colors, kind of ethnic colors. And then my stylist actually told me, you're winter in the color palette. Maybe somebody knows about that. And she suggested that I wear metallic colors like sapphire, like emerald. My God, it was such a huge difference. It was incredible. I changed my lipstick to a slightly to the color which is called cosmic purple. I did not expect that would be such a huge change, and it immediately made me feel like a queen. So you are brand as a queen, you're packaged in this new brand, you become extremely attractive, and then we filter men very fast, very in a very smart way, right away. And also, as I said, I have a trick how to work with one particular online application to get men specifically who are interested in a particular interest that you are interested in, within any kind of radius around any kind of zip code, which is a game changer. So for example, you could be looking for men, you could set things up, and you can say, I'm only looking for men with a graduate degree or a PhD, which immediately shows that this man is working on himself, that he's not a bottom feeder. And then you can also put in a keyword, and the keyword could be something like quantum physics or theater or spirituality, meditation. Okay, something that will really show that this man can resonate with you. And so we dial that in. We have this incredible soulmate magnet profile that features you as the most incredible flower on the planet Earth. And instead of leading with your masculine, we appeal to all the senses. We even go through the kind of food and smells and textures that you live in your magical world, and that turns everyone on so much that when men read this kind of profile, sometimes they're like, in the old days, they were ready to jump into the car and drive from New York to Boston just to meet a woman who wrote that profile. And of course, also the pictures, everything is very important. And the first communication, where you want to be very flirty and very different from other women. How do you do that communication? How do you do that? Well, the first thing that is absolutely necessary, and of course we have word for word scripts and instructions and all of that, but the most important thing is the attitude, and your attitude has to be based on your love blueprint, which is, I am adorable, which is, I am a joy to the world, I deserve to be loved in every moment, I am this woman who is absolutely glamorous, and I have so much magnetism, and I'm a gift. anywhere I go. So when you come in with that attitude, your correspondence becomes joyful, it becomes light, it becomes flirtatious, and they can sense it. And so that way you can really pick up a lot of very interesting men. And then we keep inviting them to step up, step up, step up. And if they don't step up, they just we just basically let them go. And that is a fantastic strategy that has proven itself to work really well, which I call dating smart and not harder. So the 4 steps, and then we'll go into the soulmate codes and the cards. The 4 steps that you need to take is heal your love blueprint, become a high value woman, date smart and not harder. And the 4th one, of course, is, what is it? What do you think it is? Let's see what it is. Invest into the right mentor, a mentor who has a great track record, trustworthy, who really cares, who has incredible education, like I do, master's degree from NYU in communications, who offers tons of testimonials and who offers an extraordinary program. So the program that I will show you, and if you feel like this is something that resonates, I want you to set the breakthrough call, or love clarity call, after this webinar or while I am talking, to see if you are a fit for this program. So the second thing that needs to happen is rewriting the limiting belief that you can do it by yourself. As you can see, this is not a very feminine thing, and it is definitely not coming from your future self where you are in that deserving mind. When you are in the deserving mind, here's what happens. You buy yourself a new dishwasher. You get yourself a car you really love. You go and you get that dress that you wanted to get, but thought maybe, it's a little too expensive. But the truth is, when you wear that dress, you're going to feel incredible. Okay, there was one woman, actually, it happened with Uzma, when we really wanted the guy to propose because her clock was ticking, we couldn't wait any longer. And she went on a date with him, and I said, why don't you buy yourself those earrings, like very expensive earrings that you always wanted? And I said, what is it? What are they going to be? And she said, chocolate diamonds. I didn't even know they exist. She got those chocolate diamonds. She felt like a star in those diamonds, not because of the diamonds, but because she did it. She invested into herself and she immediately upgraded. She felt deserving, and he proposed that very date. That same very date he proposed. It was like magic. So rewriting that limiting belief that you can do it by yourself. You don't have to do it by yourself. There is a path, there is a methodology, there is a community. And so this is something that you really don't have to suffer through. In fact, that journey to your soulmate can be and should be extremely joyful. And this is one of the Zoom calls, and everyone loves those Zoom calls. So now let's go into the soulmate codes. The journey is 6 months. We start with deserving mind. There is a petal for every month. And second month is feminine radiance. We learn how to lead with the feminine. You will learn how to really unleash your feminine. And how do you do that? Oh my God, there's so many things that need to happen. You need to really let go of the whole stigma of the patriarchy, and let go of many ideas about men, and forgive them and scream it out. And what we do during this petal, we have this ritual, and we have really incredible different methods. So for this in particular one, we have this ritual which is called the Hall of Shame, where every woman represents her lineage. So you represent both of your grandmothers, your mother, and we all come in and we create this unified field where we work with your family and we heal the whole family. We provide healing for women who come before you, who come after you. We talk to the masculine, we claim our power, we forgive them as well. And we make a pledge to our own heart. We clear out our womb. There is such a powerful ritual. It's one of the things that need to happen. Another thing that needs to happen in this petal when we're activating feminine radiance soulmate code is you will adopt yourself. You will become the absolutely best mother to yourself. And that is what shifts you from that girl who was still following those old patterns to a sovereign queen, to the magnetic woman. The next petal, feminine magnetism, is something extremely exciting. So that is all about healing sexual trauma and also sexual shame. So looking into the whole stigma that the patriarchy, especially in Catholicism and in Islam, and of course many other ideologies and religions, where they took the right of a woman to be the master of her own body, the owner of her own body. So we claim that back, and we claim back our inner wild woman, our Lilith, our adventurous woman, the bad girl, the wild girl. And that way, once you uncover that girl and you remember all these amazing spontaneous things that you're capable of, guess what happens? Those bad boys are not so attractive anymore. Once you get in touch with your own bad girl, then you really want to be held by some kind of sexy captain or somebody who is going to admire you, admire that dancer inside of you, whether you physically dance or not. But also, this is the petal where all the divine feminine arts start to just burst out of you, because the flow of feminine sexual fountain is going to be so strong that it can be easily transformed into different kinds of creative activities. And of course, you will start mastering your sexual energy, and that is the completely different way of existing. So instead of being a slave to lustful desires, you will just own that sexuality and pleasure, and it's going to be much more difficult to enslave you, and it's going to be much more difficult for a man who does not really invest into the relationship to captivate your heart. In fact, it's going to be impossible. The next one is crystal clarity. That is about seeing what you're co-creating with that man, not just how we're going to be spending time, because spending time is actually boring, but you want to see how both of your dreams can come together and how one new dream can be created, and you will also get in touch with the depth of your soul, the deep longing of your heart, and inquiring what is that next song that your soul wants to sing. Okay, my love. So after many broken dreams, sometimes it becomes hard to dream a new dream. So this is where we go through the ritual of grieving of the old dream, letting go, acceptance, and then the new dream, we give birth to the new dream. And one of the things that we do here also, we ground in the place where we imagine how it would feel to be with that partner, and we start feeling that way. So this is a magical way to magnetize that partner. And the other two petals are about embodying your unique beauty and magnetic communications. So I'm not going to go in details on that. I just want to show you some cards. And so Christina actually wanted me to share this with you, how things work for her. So I'll show you those magical cards. This first card is the little girl trauma card. So when we start working with this card, and every week there is a module where we work with 2 cards, and also there is a meditation and some homework of self-inquiry for the first 3 months, and then going out there and dating and meeting people. But the first 3 months, it's an inner journey. So here you see this little girl, she's underwater. You're going to look at her and you're going to see your own story in that girl. And as you connect to your other resource, to your greatness, you can go back to your own childhood and you can cradle that girl, and you can change things, rewrite your personal history. So this is a card which is called the vampire, or a woman who loves too much. So as you see here on this card, the energy is leaving this woman and he is feeding on her heart. So if you recognize something like this in your life, just put, yes, I recognize. So we look at all of your vampires and we go deeply into resolving all of those situations with them, understanding why is it that you were making the choices that you were making, and understanding what the teaching was. This is the card, the inner critic, where we look into your negative self-talk and you learn how to start treating yourself with great love. I have an amazing methodology on complete elimination of negative self-talk, and I'm proud to tell you I don't have any. And it wasn't always like this, but I one time was in very deep shamanic journey in Peru, and very clearly just saw how to eliminate that self-talk. It's really fantastic. It gives you a lot of energy when all that negative self-talk goes away, because it's really a waste of energy. Okay, the next card I wanted to show is very important, is self-adoption card. That is the ritual that we do when you become the ideal mother to yourself. So at first you understand what that ideal mother quality should be, and then I have a very special way of working with this, and we work with this in a group on Skype, all seeing each other, or maybe sometimes the eyes are closed, but then we become the mother to our own little girl inside, and the lioness, the protectress, or in this case, the white bear, which I personally resonate with greatly. And once you become that mother to yourself and you give a pledge to your heart, that's it. Nobody can hurt you anymore. Nobody, because you've got yourself. This is the card falling in love with the woman in the mirror. This is the card where we realize that this whole journey before was not in vain. It was a great teaching, and that you are actually on a quest. You are on a sacred quest of self-love. Okay, and then you get into the deserving mind, and once you get into the deserving mind, the whole universe starts to sing for you. It starts to celebrate you, and guess what happens then you fully can see and ground that soulmate and attract him. And this is when Christina got her great guy, and she wanted me to tell you her story. So my love, to have magnetic chemistry, I promise to show you how this works, to have emotional intimacy, soulmate, unconditional love. You have to go through those beautiful golden steps, and heal your love blueprint, become a high value woman, date smarter, not harder, and invest into the right mentor and join the right community. So what we have for you is a love breakthrough call that you can make with one of our coaches to see if this program is and we also don't accept everyone into the program. We only accept women who are very committed, very serious, who have their life figured out, and the only thing that's missing is really a great partner. Women who are ready, women who know that they deserve that love and they deserve this program. And so I invite you to come in and to share this journey with us. Oh, look, this is Didi. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is Didi. So when Didi came into the program, she was extremely overweight. Some women lose weight in the program just because they feel so much more deserving, and they start eating really well, and they start really taking care of themselves. So Didi, has got this amazing guy who she calls her rock. Okay, that was me. This is Christina. All right. Oh yeah, this is one of the, so this is my protector. This is what one of the students drew. Yeah, she's a beautiful woman from Canada. There's some wonderful rings, wedding rings. So yeah, this is a reminder for you to set up a love breakthrough call with us, which I hope you will take advantage of that and give yourself that chance. And the question is, are you a woman who is just going to go through this amazing methodology from A to Z? And I honestly don't think that there is any program in the world that covers everything the way that we approach it. And you're just going to listen to it and go back and think that you got it. Or if you're a woman who really chooses love and who is really committed to herself and who knows that she deserves the best that living in the human body can offer, the best, sharing this experience with someone who shares your soul, sharing this experience with someone who lights you up, with someone who makes you smile, with someone who can give you a hug when you are confused or tired or lost, with someone who is going to make you feel incredible things in your body, maybe explore your body in a way you never thought even possible, put you on fire. So I hope you are the woman who chooses that, who is not going to let herself off the hook and just go home and say, well, yeah, I think now I know what to do. You don't know what to do. The truth is, yes, you know what to do, but now you need to do it. And to do it, you need to work with the cards, to work in a group, to listen to the meditations, which are very, very powerful. And so the question is, how much are you missing out on right now? How much worry, anxiety, and hopelessness is influencing your state of well-being, and also your health? Honestly, when you are alone, thriving so hard, worried all the time, maybe about some repairs in the house, car, finances. Yeah, you want to be young for a very long time. You definitely want a wonderful, giving man who is going to be there to catch you, to support you, to give you second income. So you would relax a little bit, enjoy being in your feminine. How many great men, and some of them could be adding 7 figures to your income, why not? And most of my clients are getting in with very distinguished men. How many of them are you missing out on because you are stuck in the damaged, undeserving love blueprint? And if you want to have children or great father figure for your children, how much is your family, maybe your parents even, are missing out by you not booking this love breakthrough call right now for your happiness and the happiness of everyone around you? And it's only going to get, of course, more difficult and cost you the one thing that you absolutely cannot afford to waste, as we just found out this year: time, right? There's not a second, not a day, not a moment to waste, my love. So I want to invite you again to book that call with us. And I want to ask you, like, if you're still here, if you didn't book the call yet, how much longer do you want to do what you've been doing and getting the same results? And just think about the money that you spend on beautification, hair, clothes, therapy, beauty products, and dates that go nowhere because nobody's having your back, nobody's supporting you, nobody is guiding you. That adds up to thousands of dollars over time, right? And think about the emotional cost of going through the same cycle of difficult relationships with wrong men, because those unhealed parts of your subconscious mind are making your love life miserable, right? So this is the opportunity to end all of that. And I want to tell you that not a single woman had her heart broken in all the years of our program. This is how powerful our methodology is. And I'll tell you more, that if you are a good fit, and if we do invite you, we do something that nobody else does. We offer a guarantee that if for any reason, which shouldn't be happening, if you follow all the instructions and if you do all the homework and listen to all the meditations, for any reason you're not yet with that man, you can take the program again. Nobody offers that, but we are very sure in this methodology from inside out. So now you have a choice, and the choice is just to keep going the way you're going, or to step up a brand, give yourself that gift of deserving mind. Choose love, and live your life with love, which is the most important thing for every human being. That's what we're here for, really. And so I really urge you to sign up and at least check it out if this is something that is right for you, if this is something that feels right. You might be asking, is it too late for me? Yeah. And so what I want to tell you is that, well, some women come to us in their 60s, and yeah, it's all in the attitude, really. It's all in the methodology. It's all in the in the way how you project yourself into the world. One of the women who I showed you today, I'm not going to disclose who it is, but she is 70. She looks incredible, and yeah, she's got a fantastic, beautiful, perfect lover. They're completely in love with each other. So yeah, you might ask, I'm super busy, would it work for me? And I can tell you that meditations work as you sleep, and self-inquiry exercises are so incredible, so joyful. They don't take much time at all. And then once a week or twice a week, depending on the package that you want to choose, you'll show up in the group class that nobody ever wants to leave. It is really the absolutely best time that you spend with yourself, with your soul, with the sisterhood, healing, discovering, rejoicing. This is me actually with my colleague, and we are here. I'm a minister too, so we're here administering the wedding of a very beautiful couple that already has two boys. My God, this was such a long time ago. I just saw this boy, their oldest. He's like 12 or something already. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful couple. He's Russian, she's Peruvian. Yeah, so you might be thinking, I think all good men are taken. So I want to tell you that this is the map of the United States, and there are millions, millions of people here, and you only need one. There are millions of singles here. But yes, it takes a lot of skill, mastery, support, understanding. It takes you to be relationship fit, your love blueprint to be healed in order for you to be that precise sniper and to get that jewel. You're a jewel, and the man that you're going to bring in is also that unique jewel. So it's worth the effort for the rest of your life. So I hope that you are already signing up, or you signed up and you're just listening to me because you like the sound of my voice. So you might be thinking, I have tried everything. And I want to tell you that, well, maybe you've tried everything, but you've never tried a combination of the wealth of knowledge that I bring in into this work. Some of you might know that I worked as a Tantra teacher for many years, helping women unleash their femininity, unleash their feminine fountain, master their sexuality. I worked a lot with polarity and attraction between men and women. Also, I have a graduate degree in communications. I'm also an NLP master coach. And all of those disciplines, plus, of course, my Russian origin and extensive travel into spiritual places, and deep mastery of meditation and my own mind, all of that is a very unique package that goes into this program. Not to mention, of course, the cards that nobody else has and the most powerful meditations, but it gets even better. And this is a real community. We have a real retreat in person, which is called Magnetic Woman Retreat. That is optional, but everybody who meets each other online loves to come together and loves to really embody all the concepts. So we dance, we sing, we make fire, we have very fun exercises, we rehearse flirting, we do rituals, we heal. It is one of a kind time. So yeah, it's a game changer. So you might be thinking, maybe I'm too damaged. So here is Didi in the beginning of the program. I hope you remember her. And here she is when she got her engagement ring. So she really got into the teaching very deeply right away. And she's very happy, really, really happy. And she never thought that it was possible for her. Okay, Mala, so if Didi could do it, you can do it. She is really a star. So are you ready to say yes to love? And I hope to see you in the program, and I hope to see you on the love breakthrough call, my love. And I hope that you will give yourself a chance. I really had a very good time sharing this time and space with you. And I can't wait to welcome you to my coaching practice. And I can't wait to come to your wedding. As you're walking down the aisle, just imagine this, in the dress of your favorite color, whatever you were imagining when you were a little girl, and your friends and family are sitting there and crying happy tears that love has happened for you. How inspiring is that? I want to be there, and I hope that the food that you arrange for your wedding is going to be really good, because I do like to eat. Thank you so much, my love, for all this attention and your beautiful heart. I want to wish you the best of luck, whether you're coming into the program or not. Let love be your protector for days and months and years to come. And I'm going to finish with this. Thank you.